Dear students, I, Mr. Vishal Shah, Assistant Professor, Krishna Institute of Pharmacy, Karad, welcome you all to this another session on the UV visible spectroscopy. In previous lecture, we have discussed about the Beer's and Lambert's law. This is the one of the important law which is used for calculating the absorbance that is shown by different colored substances or the solute molecules in the UV visible spectroscopy. The equation that we have derived for this Beer's and Lambert's law was A is equal to epsilon BC. So this particular equation, when the absorbance is, we can say that the absorbance is directly proportional to the concentration. So there is a linear relationship is present between the absorbance and the concentration, but still due to certain factors there are certain deviations that are occurring in the Beer's and Lambert's law, and these deviations we are going to study in this particular lecture. So let's begin with this. Before that, we will first see the learning outcomes of this session. After this session, students will be able to explain which are the different deviations from the Beer's law, then which are the different true deviations, chemical deviations, as well as the instrumental deviations that are occurring in the Beer's and Lambert's law. So just we will start one by one. Now, see, this is the typical graph that is obtained when we plot the absorbance versus the concentration graph. Now here you can see, as we increase the concentration, the absorbance go on increase. So because we know A, absorbance is directly proportional to the C, concentration. So there must be linear relationship must be present between the absorbance and the concentration. But actually what happens, usually there is a deviation from linear relationship between the concentration and the absorbance, and apparent failure of Beer's law may ensure. The deviations from the law are reported as a positive deviations. Like you can see, this is the positive deviation, which is the concave part on the upward side, and here this is the negative deviation, which is concave part on the downward side. These different deviations that are occurring in the Beer's law as we go on increasing the concentration of that particular solute in the given solution. These deviations are known as the deviations from the Beer's law. That is, either it may be a positive or it may be a negative deviation. Now what are the different reasons, what are the different factors that are affecting these deviations from the Beer's law? Now this particular Beer's law holds over a wide range of concentration, provided that structure of the analyte in the dissolved state does not change with the concentration. Means Beer's law can be true for wide range of concentration, but only condition is that the structure of the solute that we are going to use, that solute, it may be a colored ion or it may be a colored non-electrolyte. In dissolved state, their structure should remain the same throughout your experiment. Now, if a colored solution is having a foreign substance whose ions do not react chemically with the colored components, its interference is small. But if the foreign substance that is present, if it is reacting with the analyte, then that will leads into the change in the concentration of that particular solute. So this is the first deviation that is the occurring. If there is a chemical structure change is occurring in the experiment, then that particular absorbance will be obtained, that will be a different. Also, deviations may occur if colored solute either ionizes, it dissociates or associates in the solution. Means, for example, here we will consider the example of benzyl alcohol. Now this particular benzyl alcohol in chloroform exists in the polymeric equilibrium. Here you can see this is the monomer. If benzyl alcohol, if it is present alone, it is existing in the form of the monomer, and in chloroform it is existing in the form of the polymer. Now, when dissociation of this polymer is carried out, what happens? The absorbance of dissociation of the polymer increases with the increasing the dilution. So that what happens? The monomer, that is this particular compound, this monomer is absorbing at the 275 degrees Celsius, 2.75, and the polymer is absorbing at the 3 angstrom unit. So means though the compound is same, and if we prepare the solution of benzyl alcohol in the chloroform, this monomer is absorbing at 2.750 and this polymer is absorbing at the 3. Means in same solution, if monomer and polymers are present, they are giving different absorbance. So that leads into the deviation in the Beer's law, where we will not get the linear relationship between the absorbance and the concentration. So this is the second deviation. This may occur due to the polymerization. Similarly, due to the ionization, due to dissociation, due to other chemical reaction, deviations may occur in the Beer's and Lambert's law. Further, we will consider another example for this polymerization also. Now, change in the color of dichromate ion on dilution. If we carry out the dilution of the dichromate solution, which leads into the change in the color of that particular dichromate ions. Because what happens? This is your dichromate ions. On dilution, these dichromate ions are converted into the chromate ions, where these dichromate ions are possessing a yellow color, and these particular ions are possessing a orange color. So this orange color and this will be having a yellow color, and due to this change, absorbance may change. So this is the second example where dichromate ions are showing absorption of 450 micron, while the chromate ions are showing the color yellow and absorbance at 350 micro. So this is the negative deviation, while chromate ion shows a positive deviation. Also, third reason is deviation may occur due to the presence of impurities that fluoresce or absorbs at the different absorption wavelength. Now suppose we are going to analyze one compound A, which is having a lambda max of, say for example, 260, and if certain impurities are present, if these impurities are also absorbing UV radiations at 260 nanometer, that also leads into the increased absorbance. So due to the presence of impurities which are capable of absorbing in given absorption wavelength, that also interference with the absorption of that particular radiation that are penetrating through the sample. So this is the third reason why there is a deviation is occurring in the Beer's and Lambert's law. Further, deviation may occur if monochromatic light is not used. Now this is the phenomenon that is related to the instrument. So linear relationship is not observed when we are not going to use the monochromatic light. If polychromatic light is used, then that will leads into the passing a different light which is having a different wavelength, and it will show different absorbance. So this is the fourth deviation that is occurring in the Beer's and Lambert's law. Further, next deviation is deviation may occur if width of the slit is not proper. Now slit, that in instrumentation one part is used which is a slit, which is having a certain keyhole in the middle, and whatever the radiations are there, these radiations are passed through this slit, which is very narrow, and if this width of this slit is more, then more radiations will pass through that particular slit, which leads into the interference in that particular absorbance. So therefore it allows undesirable radiations to fall on the detector, and due to which absorbance may be recorded as a different. These undesirable radiations might be absorbed by the impurities present in the sample, which would cause an apparent change in the absorbance of the sample. and the magnitude of this deviation becomes appreciable at the higher concentration, and due to which the slit width should be proper in order to allow the only radiations which are having only specific absorbance. Further, next deviation may occur if the solution species undergoes the polymerization. Now, in second part also we have seen same example. We will consider same example here also. For example, benzyl alcohol. Now, benzyl alcohol in carbon tetrachloride, we know that at higher concentration exists in the polymeric form. So, if the if we use the benzyl alcohol solution in carbon tetrachloride at low concentration, it will exist only monomeric form. But if we increase the concentration, then that particular monomer will be converted into the polymeric form, which will change the structure, and due to change in the structure of that particular species, dissociation of this polymer will increase on dilution, and due to this change in the absorbance will be observed. So, this is the another deviation due to polymerization. Also, deviation may occur in the absorbance of that particular Beer's law. Then last deviation that is occurring in the Beer's law is Beer's law cannot be applied to the suspension, but we can estimate them colorimetrically after preparing a reference curve with the known concentration. Means for that simple analyte we have to carry out the preparation of the standard curve, and by comparing this standard curve we are going to carry out the estimation of the suspension. But by using suspension we cannot draw a plot between the absorbance and the concentration. So, these are the various deviations that are occurring in the Beer's law. Mainly these deviations are due to the true deviations, which is related to the chemical property of that particular species. Some deviations may be related to the instrumental factor. Some deviations are due to the different absorbance related issues. So, whatever the deviations that we have seen, these deviations can be categorized under three factors. One is true deviation. Now, what is the meaning of true deviation? They are related to the concentration of the absorbing species. Now, these deviations are not under our control because they are related to the absorbing species that is involved in that particular experiment. Further, Beer's law holds good for dilute solution. If we use the solutions which are having the high concentration, certainly there will be the deviations that are occurring. Either it may be a positive deviation or either it may be a negative deviation. These are the deviations that are occurring. They are known as the true deviations. Further, chemical deviations. Now, chemical deviations are arising if the absorbing species undergo chemical changes such as association, complex formation, dissociation, hydrogen bonding, hydrolysis, ionization or the polymerization. Few examples we have seen: dissociation and the polymerization. So, if these reactions are occurring, that leads into the change in the structure of that particular species, and due to which there will be change in the absorbance is occurring, which leads into the deviation. And last deviation is instrumental deviation. Here we know that if we use the polychromatic light, it gives a negative deviation. So, only monochromatic light should be used which does not give any deviation. All these factors are related to the instrument, and we can control it with the help of the using proper and accurate instrument. And any fluctuations in the intensity of light, change in the sensitivity of detector, as well as the improper slit width can also leads into the deviation. These all deviations are considered as the instrumental deviations. So, whatever the deviations that we have seen, they may be categorized under the true, chemical and instrumental. So, these are the various deviations that are occurring in the Beer's law. Now, you have to go to this particular website, use this particular code and give the answer for this question. Thank you.